A train reactor spitting fire. The NFT analyzer. Diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From meme coins to tokens. He's got all the intel. Web3 wizardry to show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision. Wild stories from the web, he's always in the know. Crypto community, vibing where the treasures
Yo, good morning, guys. Man, I'm about to get myself in trouble. Well, not in trouble. Wrong way to put it here. But I think I'm not going to make people happy. I don't care. But I think... Just us, Gravity, by the way. Just us. I'm noticing something kind of interesting, and I like it, and I don't care at the same time, and I'm observant. I think the traditional NFT guys, right? The guys who are into, like, Bored Apes and Doodles and all that stuff, maybe they start tuning out, because I'm going to talk more and more about Pond0x and all the poly stuff, because it's a big deal, and they won't talk about it, and they won't pay attention to it, but it is a big deal. And at the same time, I'm realizing I think that crew that's into poly and all those guys, they don't like me talking about Bored Apes and the Doodles and eggs and everything else that I like talking about too. And the truth is, I like it all. And I want to talk about it all. And I'm going to be very, very honest about all of it. And how most of it is scammy, and how most of the people even running these projects probably don't even realize that what they're doing borders on scammy. It's an interesting space here. And I think this space lacks self-awareness. So that's what I hope to bring to all sides of this stuff. At the same time, I'm just talking about stuff I like. And I like a lot of this stuff out here. So with that said, yeah, maybe this won't be for everybody. Maybe it's not going to be for anybody. Gravity, at least I got you, man. So let's do it. Let's get into the market. Cosmos, good morning, man. Let's get into the market. Couple things I want to talk about today, and what I'll probably do is lightly touch on the market stuff. If you tuned into Inside NFTs this morning, mostly a review, right? Mostly covering the same stuff. But two main topics today. One is abstract chain, consumer crypto. Luca Netz wrote a cool little article describing, I guess, his game plan, right? His like roadmap to mass adoption. It's pretty damn cool. A lot of it's obvious too, and I think that's the beauty of it. I think we just overthink, man, like everything in this space. I think we've overthought it all, and what needs to happen, and when it should happen, and what is this shit? What should it look like? It's right in front of us, and it's truthfully a lot of what we're doing. Also, a lot of what we're doing is a waste. So we'll get into Luca's thoughts, get an idea of where abstract chain is going. It's going in the right place. I do think that's going to be I think that's going to be a pretty good ecosystem over there. And then I want to talk Pond0x and where they're at, and Jimmy Edgar's his collections and what the void pool is. I'm new to that stuff, man, and I love it. I love it. It's very much like performance art. It's great stuff, though. I'm having a blast doing it and wrapping my head around the chaos. Dude, it's fucking chaos. I was chatting with somebody yesterday and messing stuff up and sending NFTs to the wrong wallet and voiding, aka kind of burning NFTs, and I'm like, dude, I was giving her all the wrong info, wrong wallets. I'm like, dude, my head's spinning with this stuff in a good way. I miss that stuff. It's been a while since I've had to move at that pace where my head spins, and feeling like it's up against the clock. Anyway, it was a good time. I'm enjoying all the stuff in that ecosystem, and I just recommend, guys, no matter what you hear and probably see about Poly. Pond, all that, make up your own mind. That scammer term is thrown around way too often, and I don't like it. I don't like it with Poly. I just don't see it. But make up your own mind. If you do, then great. But just don't take other people's word from it. Unless, hey, if it's somebody you trust. Somebody you trust got scammed, that's different. But I don't know a single person. Not one. Boss, good morning, man. Anyway, guys, smash the like. Do that on YouTube and on X. It does help, guys. It's the single thing that helps the show the most. As I am working towards ramping up guests, if they see more activity, if they can see more views, we'll have a better time getting these guests on and do some cool ones coming up. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, let's take a peek at the NFT market here. I'm sticking with my thesis from last week, guys. I do think we're back. I do. Back is kind of relative. It's more about how deep into being back are we? And man, it's very early. In the same way that I think crypto, like the real run hasn't started, I really don't. I don't think the NFT run, when I say we're back, it hasn't really started, but we are back. We're past the bottom. And you see it right here at the top of the collection rankings here on Crypto Slam. The egg collection coming from the Crypto Kitties. Come on, man. That is such a big-ass indicator here. The Crypto Kitties, one of the most iconic, and this word thrown around way too casually, but historic it is if you think anything happening here is historic. I mean, man, Crypto Kitties, there is an argument about who was the first ERC 721. Actually, it's all on chain. It shouldn't be an argument. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think Crypto Kitties are the first ever NFT to use the ERC 721. They're that historic, if you consider that history. It's in the NFT history books, we'll put it that way. So the Crypto Kitties dropping this egg collection. My understanding, their first real new collection in years, so it matters. But what really stands out to me still, guys, it's the price. It's the price. It's wild to me. Seeing these things go from a 0.008 mint all the way up to this point at 0.3. Actually, they come down quite a bit, and I think I know why. I'm going to show you. Influencers, man, they really are influential. I mean, obviously. But talk around this stuff. I don't know. People are hyped, obviously, up pretty big from yesterday, but starting to see some people talking about exiting that stuff. Not so excited about what's coming there. Regardless, any collection going from 0.008 to 0.3 whatever, hope that's catching your attention. Big time sign. Anyway, eggs, over 600,000 in volume in the past 24 hours. I want to just peek real quick at how much they've done since the mint on the weekend. Probably over $1 million? Yeah, there we go. 1.1 mil, and we're talking about just 4-ish days. So, pretty impressive there. Unipuppets. Not going to go over each, by the way, but I just want to see how new these guys are. I think it's a new mint. Yeah, it sure is. So another brand new mint on Solana. Doing some decent numbers too. Decent. Nothing groundbreaking, nothing that's going to melt your face here, but new collection in the top 5. Again, indicators everywhere at this point. They just are. And these are my indicators for us honestly being back. I really do believe it. I really do, guys. All right, let's look at sales volume, peek at the crypto market, and then I want to get right to abstract. I like Luca. I think he's like a unique talent. I do. I really do. Like as far as a Web 2 guy, obviously Web 3 guy now, but a guy who's got this track record of being able to build stuff in the real world. He's done it. He's probably the best main character we have in this space right now, honestly. So I like Luca. Excited to dive into his thoughts on abstract chain. Awful Eye, good morning, brother. Vrew, good morning. Oh, shit, Awful. Hey, you want to give us a little tease what you're working on? Raul, good morning, sir. Anyway, NFT sales yesterday, finally back over 10 mil. I say finally, 2 days under 10 mil just over the weekend. But 10.3 mil in cross-chain sales yesterday. Sellers up, buyers up. Transactions down, I swear, guys, this morning. Maybe, I don't remember. I thought these were both down. Maybe some stuff's been recalculated here. Could be wrong. Anyway, looks, It's slow, man. It is slow. Volume just ain't there. And $500,000 in the negative for trade profits yesterday. Already this morning, we're getting closer and closer to $1 million in the negative. But that's where we're at. Again, just some perspective of this market. I'm saying we're back, but again, perspective of where the market's really at, pretty damn low. We talked yesterday about August. August, lowest month of sales here in, a year. In a year, since last October, basically. So, yeah. Yeah, myself. It's a great point. So, yeah, there's our confirmation. CryptoKitties are the first ERC 721. Yeah. And my saying he finds value in the Gen Zero kitties. Again, yeah, if you like collecting early stuff, I mean, it's hard to beat those. The Gen Zero, right? The first minted crypto kitties. Hell yeah. Like I like the Series Zero Avastars, stuff like that. I like that stuff. But I'm a collector, or I used to be especially, right? Like action figures, comics, cards. I like that stuff. Also, I like the early stuff, and it's why I have a V1 Punk. I like the stuff with a story, and that's early, and that's influential, and that's all this stuff we just mentioned. Nice. Awful. I was saying you should drop a little hint. You said you're working on something you've never worked on before, something different. You should drop a little hint, although it's probably early for you. Andy, good morning. But anyway, there is your market. I do want to peek. Well, why don't we peek at floor prices if it matters? Yeah, there's eggs again cooking. Other than that, everything's kind of down, guys. So not a lot exciting out there, honestly. Again, other than eggs, it's just not a hell of a lot going on. And partially, guys, I'm not collecting stuff. I'm not packing any bags other than if I can catch some deals over on Bitcoin. I do like that ecosystem. Those are the bags I want to pack. ETH stuff now. I'm waiting for whitelist season to ramp back up. That's what I'm into. Cosmos, shit, dude. I've been getting that a lot too. Okay. I was worried it was me, especially when I switch between like my account and then if I switch to the Crypto Slam account, man, I get that a lot. I got to do a CAPTCHA. And then I even got some like direct login stuff. I got worried people were like trying to take my account or something. You know what I mean? I thought people were trying to log in, but no, I think it's just X being funny. But yeah, super frustrating, dude. I probably in the past week, I've gotten that 5 to 10 times. It's pretty annoying. All right, Awful Eye, I'm going to peek at my DMs. I can't show you guys, but he gave me a little sneak peek of what he's working on here. Oh, shit. Interesting. Okay. All right, that's cool. I see where you're going. All right, I dig it. Yeah, that'll be cool to see. It'll be cool to see how those turn out. Ah, man, I dig it. Good shit. Animus? I don't know what these are, by the way. Must have been a, cheap. I like the art. I do like it. Cheap mint. I don't know what they probably minted around here. 0.0008. But not bad. Not bad. You're up there. Okay. Yeah, these are all right. They fit. They feel Bitcoiny, you know? Kind of dig them. I wonder if any of you guys got in there. Must have minted a couple days ago. Yeah, kind of dig it. Kind of dig it. We'll see. But there, yeah, I mean, eggs is what people are talking about still. It's the hottest thing out there. That said, man, again, they were 0.31. If I refresh that. Oh, shit, are they back up? Yeah, okay, maybe they're back up. They'd fallen to 0.28 or so. Somebody must have swept those up a bit. But again, that said, ICO Beast, like this guy. I like him. But yeah, trying to figure out what the eggs are for here. So saying, looks like something's happening on Flow. And I don't know why he's saying it looks related to Dapper Labs. CryptoKitties is Dapper Labs, right? So, yeah, obviously. They got some kind of, what is this? Maybe a mobile game coming? Something's coming. But TLDR here, ICO Beast, he dumped his eggs. He doesn't want to touch Flow. Doesn't see anything on Flow cooking. He's probably not wrong, guys. I don't think he's wrong. Still, though, my takeaway here is... Oh, he's been out for a bit. My takeaway here is just traders being willing to spend again. That part's awesome to me. Right? If you're here to make some money, man, and I hope that's... I mean, really? I hope that's why you're here. That's the sign we're looking for. And then Ether Vista. I don't know, man. This is a cabal thing. This is a cabal token. It is. You had all the influencers talking about this token. It made no sense to see a token like this do what it did yesterday, given how the rest of the market looked, right? Like meme coins were wrecked. Crypto just kind of dead, especially over the holiday, man. Just yuck, right? But how does this one coin kind of out of nowhere do so well? Yes, it's a pump.fun platform. Yes, it's in the meme coin kind of world. But why this one? And again, you saw this morning if you tuned in, but KOLs, man, all over this thing. This is a cabal token. So I wouldn't be touching this one right now, guys. Maybe it does well too. Maybe it does amazing. Maybe this gets to 100 mil. I don't know. But I'm definitely seeing some of the guys who I know are those KOLs, right? Those paid KOLs. I've gotten the list before, guys. I've seen the list. I've seen it. Yeah, like make no mistake, there is a list out there. And by the way, it's not the list that he's seeing, right? It's not this. He saw their list of investors and their paid KOLs. I've seen the list of if you are launching a token, here's the guys you reach out to and you pay them and they'll tweet the shit about, they'll tweet up your thing. They will. I've seen it. It's a lot of them, and it's a lot of the names that you're familiar with. It's a lot of the influencers out there. It is. It's all the guys that you see tweeting every day about whatever, and it's the guys who move markets. It's the guys who drive the narratives out there. It's them. And so if you're seeing people talking about Ether Vista, it's because they got paid, guys. They did. So yeah, personally, I wouldn't touch this. Expect that those guys keep tweeting, though. Maybe they pump this thing up because they got tokens. They want this token to do well. But don't think it's organic. Don't think this is any kind of comment on the quality of Ether Vista, because it's, it's fake. Awful Eye, no, Dapper Labs, Awful Eye said I thought Dapper Labs quit. No. I think they're around for the long haul. They did lose a case over in the UK, right? They had to pay a big old fine. I think a court ruled that I think were selling security, something like that, right? So, yeah, no, I don't think they're done. Yeah, eggs not revealed yet. Cosmos, good point. You totally expect those to dump. So Cosmos asking if they're revealed yet, and yes, and suggesting they might dump after. Yeah, I mean, that's how they go. Oh, Vrew, and by the way, I'm sorry, I'm going back through comments, but Animu, they minted at 0.0003. Those are up really decently then. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I dig them. Everything for right now priced a little too high. Where again, I'm not buying stuff. Again, my game here will be when NFTs are really, really back, guys. Like really back. Let's play whitelist. That's the easy way to play. It's not hard to get whitelist. We will get great whitelist here, both on the personal channel and here on SlamX. We're gonna get really nice whitelist. That's the game I'm playing because those are easy. Winning via whitelists is pretty easy. Drew, what did you send me? Inverso? Explore, I'll put it up. Explore the multiverse through art on Bitcoin Stellar Genesis, coming Q3. Totally honest here, I'm not familiar with Sozis art. I don't know. I'll keep my eye on it, though. I'm following. We'll see what that's about. All right, we're gonna... Sorry, I'm like... I got Pond0x stuff on the side, just kind of watching stuff. I'm up, dude, I'm all in over there. I like it. I'm going to be mining over there. So definitely got to make sure we get time to talk about that today. I like it. Okay, let's get abstract. Captain. Captain says Ether Vista sounds cool, but the UI is so shit. I liked it. It's shit, but I like the I mean, come on, I collect the Bitcoin stuff, right? Also looks shit. Fuck. I just closed everything. God damn it. Hang on, guys. What a fucking idiot. All right, give me a quick second here. Hang on. I just lost all my freaking links. Okay. We'll still make it work. Where Ether Vista? You know what? I'll pull it up just so you guys see if you haven't been on there, but yeah, I dig it. I just dig that vibe. It's nostalgic, you know? And I'm not going to connect my wallet, so I can't really take us through. Okay, maybe I hate it. Ether Vista. Yeah, actually, I think I hate it. Anyway, it's a DEX. It's a Pump.fun kind of clone, kinda. But they'll have loans, they'll have future trading, they've got lending, all that stuff. You click on it on the site, it's all kind of coming soon. So we'll see. Again, they got the KOLs. They can keep attention on it. Yeah, Andy, I'm not even gonna look at Nero now. That token feels pretty wrecked, right? Actually, Andy, what's the market cap of Nero now? Last I saw, like 40 mil. Did all those influencers dump? I mean, look, that's the story of Vista, right? The Vista token might have the same trajectory as Nero. Insiders got the token. That's what they do. That's what they do, man. Just remember, when we hear about stuff on the timeline, man, you're pretty damn late at that point. So I don't know. Can abstract chain save us, guys? Nah, I doubt it. No, I don't know. I'm kind of talking out of my ass right now. I like Luca. It's a big old maybe. Maybe abstract chain is going to be the one. I feel good with Luca at the helm. I do. So let's get into it. So Luca's got this article he dropped yesterday talking about consumer crypto, right? That's the phrase he's running with, and it makes sense. I like it. It's like the latest buzzword, but again, it makes sense. Last month, we launched Igloo Inc. and followed it with news of our acquisition of Frame to build Abstract. It's an L2 focused on scaling and solving the challenges related to consumer crypto. So remember, guys, Frame blockchain and ETH L2 was supposed to launch earlier this year, was going to have a token drop, and then went silent, guys, completely silent, had no idea what was going on, although, if you guys, god damn it, 15 mil for Nero? Wow. Oh, excuse me, wait, 25 mil or 15? Either way, not good. Might be a good buy. I was gonna say for what it's worth, it ain't worth shit. But I still like Nero. I still think we'll have a winning Nero token. I'm not gonna sell at this point. I'm just gonna hold on and we'll see what happens. But I got in there at like a $220 million market cap, so I'm basically at zero there. At zero, whatever. Anyway, Frame never launched. Everybody wondering what happened. I just had this weird suspicion because Luca Netz was an investor in Frame. I'm like, man, we're waiting for all this Pudgy Penguin news. Part of me thought there was something going on there with Pudgy Penguins. And it turns out that's exactly what was going on. It's exactly what was happening there. So, again, here's Luca diving into more about what Abstract Chain really is going to be for. He didn't address it a lot, like very directly here, but the whole conversation here in this article, it's really what's happening on Abstract Chain. So since buying it, feels like the narrative has shifted towards consumer crypto, sparking debates on what consumer crypto really means. In this article, discussing what I believe consumer crypto is, why we haven't achieved it yet, and we haven't, guys, we haven't, and why I believe consumer crypto represents the industry's final frontier. You'll see as we go through this, and we'll break down each section, but going through this, again, it's a lot of obvious stuff, really obvious stuff, but I like hearing Luca talk about it, and I agree with him on all of it. I mean, honestly, all of it. All of it. I read the whole thing a couple times. I can't disagree with anything here. The definition of consumer crypto here, guys. Luca defines it as the adoption of blockchain-powered apps that serve billions of people in their everyday lives for personal use. That definition's broad, so to add specifically, it's important to note that I believe consumer crypto adoption occurs in 3 phases, and he's listed those as discretionary spending. That's phase 1. Phase 2, necessary spending. Phase 3 is essential spending. Does he just kind of makes this up as he goes? I mean, I think that's how it works when you're building, and if you're, I guess, in uncharted waters, I guess that's what you do. You're the one making the roadmap for this stuff. But that's his projected kind of path to growing this base, right? Discretionary, necessary, essentials. We are at phase 1 here. I think that's all we've been doing here the past few years. It's a bummer, man. Right? I would have hoped. This is funny because I can talk on both sides of this. I would hope we're much further along than we are now. We also grew faster than I was thinking too, honestly. Like the type of stupid spending we saw in 2022, I didn't think we'd see that till maybe a year or 2 out. I thought that would all be way further out. The fact that it already happened, though, then today I'm shocked we didn't grow beyond that. That we're basically still there. We're basically still there with not a lot of use cases for crypto and NFTs, and the platforms are now finally starting to mature a bit. But yeah, we're nowhere near as deep as I thought we'd be. Adoption-wise, maybe specifically there too, adoption-wise, normies being in here using this stuff. Like your local supermarket, having some kind of presence on chain, their rewards program. What we saw with Starbucks, I thought, was a sign we were heading in that direction. In fact, that we were heading there because we had Starbucks, but then never coming back. Starbucks ditching that rewards program kind of surprised me, guys. It kind of did. But that's where I thought we'd be at this point, given what we saw, a couple years back. We just, we're not there. All right, discretionary spending, that's the first 50 million users. Tricky thing here, man. We don't even know what our user base is at all. I don't even think we could really guess. Because all these dupe wallets and all the wash trading, all this whatever, right? It's hard to get a clear picture on anything here. But discretionary spending, that first 50 mil, the initial phase of the consumer crypto revolution, well, it's going to be centered around discretionary spending, consumer-focused businesses built around discretionary or leisure spending. In other words, applications that occupy a person's free time. That's all we've done. That's it. That's all we've done here. These type of apps are going to be the first to break through because they're more prone to virality. Yep. Easier to sell to consumers. Yep. Again, 2022, 2021. And building them on chain solves the problems that Web 2 applications can't address. I don't think he breaks that down further as far as what are those problems, and I think it's important to actually break those down. I might dig through this later in the week and write up a couple threads that get a little deeper into here. It's a great starting point for some other content here. Right, these kind of things, and you'll see when he gives some examples, NBA Top Shot is something I keep in mind. Businesses focused on discretionary spending tend to align around fun. Yeah. Again, that's all we've been doing here. Just fun, shitty, leisurely spending, right? In the consumer world, fun often faces significant barriers to... Oh, he does list stuff. Such as payment processor issues, kind of. Geo restrictions, kind of. And rules that prevent internet businesses from scaling and thriving. I like that he at least gives us some examples. To illustrate this, let's identify some current issues facing consumer-focused Web 2 businesses. That's good, because honestly, he lists the thing. You'll find this throughout. He will mention certain things. I don't know if he gets deep enough here, and maybe that's not the point, but I would like a little more depth here, and maybe that's our job. Maybe that's our job, is to really dig in deep. These challenges, these issues, fees. Typical payment processor fees are too expensive and hold too much leverage over merchants. Yeah. On average, merchants are charged 2.9% to 10% on transactions. Where I mentioned before, guys, that NBA Top Shot is what I picture for these consumer-focused kind of projects and the fun ones, right? When I'm thinking about these fees, my mind is instantly going to the Pond decks. The fees are tiny compared to the other guys. And that is something that blockchain allows, right? Direct-to-customer stuff. Cutting out as many of the middlemen as you cut out, man, the cheaper those fees can go. That is one of the special things about doing stuff on chain here is just the ability to, again, eliminate all those middlemen, make it cheaper for the end user. It's a beautiful thing. The higher the risk profile, which is often the case with fun applications, the higher the fees. Geo restrictions. Doing business in your native country, straightforward, but expanding globally presents significant challenges. Yeah. Most applications not scalable outside their current jurisdiction. Fun is universal. Web 2 infrastructure is unfortunately not. I would like more details on that. I can't speak to any of it. None of it. I'm not sure. That's one I'm going to take Luca's word for. Chargeback risk. Current Web 2 apps are handicapped by the size of spend. Businesses do not always capture the true blah, blah, blah. Censorship. So, again, as I get into this, I'll skip some. Censorship. Businesses face the risk of censorship from service providers. Yep. Which can prevent them from scaling aggressively or reaching their full potential. I mean, honestly, this speaks to cutting out the middleman, too, and your ability to scale because of that. Putting stuff off online gives you, man, what a crazy, crazy huge audience. So, yeah, I don't even look at this as a Web3 thing per se. It's just having an online business. I can't speak to the stuff, cross borders. I don't know. I don't know how that applies online. If you guys have examples too, by the way, because I think you guys are all, I think we got some professionals here. But any examples you guys have, drop them in the chat. Let's see. Building consumer apps around discretionary spending presents the lowest hanging fruit within the consumer crypto ecosystem. Yes, sir. And that's the first phase to break through to mass adoption. Yes, sir. Again, think NBA Top Shot. Yeah, entrepreneurs building fun products are going to have an easier time building on blockchain rails. Yeah, I agree. To provide more clarity, these are the consumer categories within discretionary spending that I believe are most ripe for disruption. This is where, again, guys, you're going to see he says it here, and it's a great way to frame it. Lowest hanging fruit. Really, really obvious stuff throughout this. But again, I just think we're overlooking a lot of what's happening here. Like, we look at it, we might just say, yeah, but whatever. And I think that's probably a mistake. It's focus on the things we're doing, but figure out a way to make these not a little better, a lot better. But the things that we should be doing, it's all right here. I'll get to what it is we should be doing differently a little deeper because Luca definitely touches on that here. But yeah, industries ripe for disruption. These are the discretionary spending type applications, right? It's gaming. It's social platforms, creator platforms. I'm assuming he's talking like X, SocialFi kind of stuff, right? Like bringing that all here. Trading, casinos, betting, digital collectibles, tokenizing culture. That's the fun stuff, right? That's where when we have money, that's where we can, I guess, spend a little more freely. It's I don't want to call it luxury kind of spending, like watches and, but it's closer to that. That's the kind of stuff people spend their money on when they're not worried about their bank account. And those are the categories, what we're already dabbling in here right now, that Luca thinks gets us to our first 50 million users. And again, agreed. It's the lowest hanging fruit. It's the easiest stuff. It's the stuff that people in the real world, they're already doing, man. Again, we've always said Web3 gaming is going to be it. I think at this point, I don't know about you guys, but how do you feel about, not Pump.Fun, what is it? Fantasy Top. Fantasy Top, I think, is a great example of this. I think that's going to work in a big, big way. Right? People get it. But again, trading, casinos, betting, collectibles, all that stuff. Yes. Can you get 50 million users around this world into those kind of products? Yeah. Yeah. If we can't, if we can't, we fucking suck, man. Like, if we can't get 50 million people into crypto with these kind of products, man, oh man, we're doing something wrong. Myself, let's see. That's how you feel about Doginals. When the Bitcoin ordinals hype comes back, fees are going to be atrocious on Bitcoin. So where will people go when that happens? Probably the next most popular crypto, Doge. I can't say I agree, and I also it makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. I think I'll tell you my gut feeling is Bitcoin is still Bitcoin, and that is ultimately I think it's either people want to collect there or nowhere. Right? I think that if they're not going to collect on Bitcoin, I don't know if they go to Doge. I just think at that point they go to Solana, they go to ETH. That's what my gut tells me. It's kind of Bitcoin or bust, and I think people are going to spend a lot on Bitcoin because they're going to again. There's no bigger flex than Bitcoin. But again, it's what you're saying is super reasonable. What is the second largest? Hang on. What's the second largest token by market cap? It's well, I guess it's ETH, right? Isn't this in order? Yeah, Doge is 9. I get what he's saying though. I think he's talking about on like branched off of or part of the Bitcoin world, right? You know, Doge feels so closely related here. I'm not sure. I don't see them going to. I like the thesis. Just don't know if I agree there. I really do think people are going to pony up and go grab those Bitcoin grails. But you're right about fees, and it is going to be a turnoff, and it's going to make it hard to get in, and that's why I'm really bullish on those top collections. Cosmos, right, good for lower-priced ordinals for sure. It's good for all of them. You know, when those fees are up, no new collections are going to get, inscribed on Bitcoin. It'll be way too expensive. So it's a funnel to those top-tier collections, Quantum Cats, Node Monks, Bitcoin Puppets, OMB. It's a funnel to those, and then if you can't get in those because they're already, guys, they're like $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 at the lowest for those. So then it's into the cheaper stuff, and yeah, a couple of those will do well too. But yeah. Anyway, good thoughts there. Okay. 50 mil across these kind of platforms. We better be a hell of a lot more than 50 mil, man. Okay, to support that thesis, here's a list of the most important crypto applications we've seen today. And yeah, I agree with this. It's a great list. I agree with it. And we better pull 50 mil in across this stuff. OpenSea. Yes. Digital collectibles. Top Shot. Yes. Same thing. Pudgy Penguins there. Also digital collectibles. Notice he doesn't have Bored Apes in here. They don't have that kind of appeal. But betting, you got Polymarket. Any others for betting? By the way, Prediction Market launches over on Blast today. Keep your eyes on that for sure. Pump.fun. I agree with this dude here. I still think people are No, sorry, mixing up my platforms. I had Fantasy Top in mind. I think people are underestimating Fantasy Top still. I really do. But Pump Fun, yeah. Social and tokenized culture. I think ultimately Pump Fun and Fantasy Top, honestly, in Polymarket too, it should all be one and the same thing. Actually, Luca does say something similar later on here, but I think a lot of these platforms, they all belong together. It's all kind of the same thing. So someone's going to make a killing, I think, putting them all under one roof. I think so, guys. I do. All right, Uniswap for trading, Rollbit. That's your casino. Friendtech social. Yeah, Friendtech. Just evidence that kind of thing, there's an appetite for it. Friendtech didn't work, but there's an appetite for it. And somebody will crack that code. Friendtech will work. Yeah, I believe that. I really do. Steppen for a social application and Axie for gaming. These are the kind of applications that bring in that discretionary spending. These are the kind of platforms. It's not just these 10, but these are the kind of platforms that should get us to 50 million users. They absolutely should. And if they don't, again, this is toast. It's done. It's over. But I think it'll do it. I do. So his next category, necessary spending. Man, part of me wonders. We got to get down to essentials, but part of me wonders if essentials should have been earlier. Maybe first. Maybe. I got to see what he considers essential. Okay, necessary spending. This is to get us to 250 mil, so to 5x the user base. All right, decentralized finance, DeFi. Let me see if he has any other insights here. I think that's below. DPIN, hang on. Decentralized physical infrastructure. Yeah, honestly, guys, yes. I think that speaks to decentralizing like storage and processing power, like mining, IoT stuff, Internet of Things, right? I've always heard that stuff's coming on chain. I still have trouble visualizing exactly how. I'll tell you this, I think that Sonium blockchain is going to be a big part of this. Decentralized physical infrastructure and software as a service. Those are interesting. Do those get us to that 250 million mark? With somebody like Sony in here building out those sectors over there? Yeah, maybe. Digital media, digital commerce, and payments. Yeah, I think I'm with Luca here with all that. And then essential. Yeah, he doesn't really get deeper into any of that. I wish he listed some platforms, right? Just so we have a sense, like we have an idea of the kind of products that'll get us to 250 mil. Yeah, what would those be, actually? DeFi, hang on a sec. Well, it gets me wondering, why is Uniswap up in here? Other than I think Uniswap kind of fits more into betting. If this is in the, what's the category here? If that's in discretionary spending, I would say this is more betting, Uniswap. Because otherwise, I think Uniswap also fits under here, under necessary spending. And I think that does tie in all this stuff too. When you're using decentralized and on-chain products for well, it is here, DeFi. It's right there, number one. It's funny how, well, a lot of that stuff also interconnected. Myself, I'm tagging this. I want to come back and chat that. Because, again, I think you're right. And yeah, man, Sony's going to be a big-ass deal here. Just gut feeling, but I do think Sony on here is another one of those things I think is kind of being overlooked. Kind of. Okay, essential spending. This is... I didn't think we'd be here yet, right? Everybody using blockchain. I think a world on chain. This is everybody using it. Billions of people on chain. I think this is 10 years off, 15 years off, maybe 20 years off, but I don't think it's that far out. Well, think of this. Yeah, let me think. 10 years. I think 10 years. Just like internet adoption happened really, really fast. Really fast. That was probably over like 15 years. No, not even. Like internet adoption was really like a 10-year thing. Right? Not from, the moment the first email was sent, but from the time it became, something in most homes, a lot of homes, to where it is, where it became an everybody thing, 10-ish years. So yeah, I could see this on-chain stuff, which I consider all the blockchain stuff buffing the internet. It is called Web3 for a reason. So 10 years till this. I think that's a pretty good goal. This road to 250 mil, this election cycle maybe helps us get there, but I could see that, guys, within 2 to 3 years. I hope so. Again, otherwise, I think we got a problem. Okay, so essential spending. After overcoming the necessary spending barrier, we reach breakthrough adoption. Yeah, baby. The adoption of essential spending. This is when consumer apps are built around essentials, enabling users to do anything and everything on-chain they could do off-chain. Examples: online banking, yes sir. Credit, RWAs, insurance, data, IoT, identity, voting. These, I think, are so, so important. It is one of those things the blockchain solves. It is. IoT, I've read into that a little bit as far as how blockchain ties into IoT. I couldn't speak on it, though. It makes sense. It makes sense. But I'm still trying to get it in my brain and kind of commit it to my memory where I could speak on it. But IoT, again, I think there's a lot of crossover here. Right? Banking, credit, RWAs, kind of all ties sorta into DeFi. Payments for sure, right? I mean, there's... I think it's that this builds like the initial use cases, and then you build those out even further. Voting and identity is a big one, though. I don't understand insurance on chain. It's another one of those things. I've read ideas about it. And when I hear them, I'm like, yeah, that makes actually a lot of sense. It does fix certain things. Couldn't speak on it. But why aren't we there, guys? Again, I thought we'd be here. I thought we'd be here at this point. All right, well, according to Luca, over the last 10 years, the custody of consumer adoption has been in the hands of chains that raise tens of billions of dollars to push adoption further. But unfortunately, guys, few have been successful in this approach. Okay, and the why? He's saying, in the ethos in which they build. All right, so he's saying that these blockchains out there today, all the ones that we use right now, follow a 0 to 100 general purpose approach, right? And that makes sense to me. They want to become the chain that builds these rails for everything. Everything. Everybody's got these chains that are an everything chain. It's kind of why I like Blast. Blast is not looking to be an everything chain. They're looking to be just a super degen chain. I like that. And I think we'll see a lot more of that. Chains that spin up. We're actually seeing it happen now with all these L2s, but chains that spin up for one kind of product. We're going to have tens of thousands of blockchains. We're going to have more than that, ultimately. Like an infinite supply of blockchains, like we have an infinite supply of fungible tokens and NFTs, right? We're going to have an infinite number of blockchains. And I think you'll have a blockchain for individual products. So yeah, this is how he's visualizing what everybody's doing now. A blockchain, it's just they do everything. They say they do everything. They don't really. They don't. They want to do everything. But man, this has just caused us to like instantly go in PvP mode. And you fractured the user base. And we haven't had this because everybody's trying to build their own version of exactly the same thing. And man, how much further along would we be? Everybody was building in one ecosystem. This is like Randy, our founder, said. If we were all doing this together, we might be at that 250 million user base. We might be well beyond that. If everything we built, guys, think of all these, think of the collectibles on Bitcoin, think of the DeFi on Solana, the total degen shit over on Blast. Think everything Sony's playing. If all that stuff we're all on, let's just use ETH as our example, just cause. How much further along would we be right now if, as these guys were building, they were thinking about interoperability too? So yeah, building these chains with no specific direction in mind has it's really caused us to stagnate here. Yeah, and there he's saying it. It's caused us to. It's what's caused all this fragmentation. It's a bummer, man. It's a bummer. Right? Those buzzwords we throw around here, the community and interoperability and WAGMI. I swear to God, it's such cornball shit. But there's like some truth at the root of all those things, and all those things would be happening if we did this all together. Honestly, if we did this all together, the WAGMI shit might actually be a real thing. But no, instead it's PvP, and nobody's winning because of that. Except Luca's going to come in and do the exact same thing. I think he's going to win. I do. I think Luca's going to win here. So the solution, aligning the focus, is necessary to break through to the masses. I like this a lot. Blockchains are like cities, and like all cities, demand for them is driven by the attractions and activities they offer. For that reason, I believe the breakthrough for consumer adoption is going to come from teams hyper-focused on curating premier attractions within their city. And once you get that, you start building out. So I get it. He wants to make his blockchain like, is it like Disney World? I don't think it's a perfect comparison. Maybe to some degree. Actually, maybe to some degree. So he's got the blockchain, and right around that, he wants the best collectibles and IP. You see those right here. That might be hard to see, guys. I hope you can read it. Collectibles and IP. He wants the best social platforms, which he's not revealed any of that yet, but I believe there's going to be some cool social stuff coming. That idea, right, of having Polymarket, Pump Fun, and Fantasy Top all together, I have a feeling we're going to see something. Oh, he even throws the Disney thing. God, again, that's why I said some of this is so obvious. Some of this it's such low-hanging fruit. It's the way that it should be going. I'm shocked it hasn't, but Luca sees it, man. Luca sees it, and he's saying it out loud here. All these things right at the core of their blockchain: betting, trading, IP, collectibles, social, games. You get the coolest shit right there, right at your core. Man, this is where, dude, me, you guys, we're all going to go over on that blockchain if they actually nail that thing, and Luca has that track record for being able to nail that stuff. I'm not going to be shocked if he pulls this off. I'm really not. Yeah, so there you go. Have a very strong core like that, and then you start building out those other 3 layers from there, right? We had the discretionary spending up to the, what was the next one? God, my brain sucks. Necessary spending, and then the essential spending here. Those are the rings. I think Luca's going to pull this off. I do. Not without a ton of work, by the way. Fuck ton of work here, but I think Luca's going to nail it. All right. Let's see. I want to... Dude, I have got time all out of whack here. We've got like 10 minutes to go. Let me pull out the juiciest bits here, okay? Abstract's path to success. The onboarding flow... Build the hub, growth, expansion. Yeah, I'm going to skip all that too. No, you know what? Hang on. Let me just peek and see what else he had here. I might come back to that. Oh, I actually like this a lot. Abstract's path to success. Okay. No, I get it. It does tie into everything above. Step 1, the onboarding flow. Build the easiest 0 to 1 onboarding flow. Which he's doing that, guys, with these sponsored gas on Abstract Chain, right? So free to mint stuff if applications choose to do that. I love it. They've not announced this still, guys, but on-chain enforced royalties, creator fees. I think that can kind of fit in here. But step 2 is build the hub. Create the premier attraction in the ecosystem, digital amusement park hub. What is that, guys? I'm really trying, because think of this. Pudgy penguins are not migrating to Abstract. With that said, maybe he's got some kind of bridge and you can bring him over there, but their home really is on ETH. So what is the amusement park? What is that? Is that going to be a metaverse? Is that going to be Pudgy World? I don't think that's what it is. But what is it? Is it a whole bunch of projects like, what is it, Plushie? Right? They announced this partnership with this, I think, Plushie project. Is it just having a whole bunch of collections, projects like that, right? Is that the attraction, is having just really good core native Web3 IP? That might be it. Step 3 is growth. Once you have that amusement park and it's got the IP people want to be around, and also in there, by the way, I think it's the betting platforms, it's the social fights, all that stuff. Then you grow that user base. Then you really start pushing this shit out there. And this is where you start bringing in people, regular people. And then beyond that, expanding maybe into other sectors. That user base extending even further. Again, I think Luca at least has the direction that he wants to go. He's got his roadmap. It's a roadmap he's creating, and I like it. I think he's going to be able to pull this off. You know, the guy's got the grind, the hustle, the connections, he's got the everything to do this, man. And the game plan just makes a ton of sense. What it comes down to is, are the core products good enough? That's the thing I wrestle with all the time, guys. Like I said, we already have these things, and the fact that we're not at 50 million users already, that's the part that kind of gets me sometimes. But is Luca now the guy who can build these maybe better, get the biggest best over there? Actually, now I'm thinking out loud about Uniswap. Right? Pudgy Penguin's got this Uniswap partnership. I wonder if Uniswap maybe is like a deep deep relationship with Pudgies. Maybe there's something that's going to be coming over to Abstract. But anyway, this is now on Luca to make things like this so appealing and native to Abstract, right? These kind of quality things native to Abstract to bring those 50 million in. Again, that's goal one. That's step one. He's got to get the 50 mil. I'll tell you what, once we get to 50, I think that road to 250 probably isn't as hard. Like a snowballing effect at that point. How far off, guys, do you think we are from 50 million base users? Maybe we're not as far as I was thinking. Maybe we're not. I don't know, but maybe we're not so far. Because crypto holders, just individuals who hold crypto, I think count. So we got to give all those crypto holders a reason to come to Abstract. Again, I think Luca's the guy that can pull that off. Dude, I'm going to pivot real hard, real quick here. Because I do want to talk about the Pond stuff and what Jimmy Edgar's doing here. Let me peek through some comments, though, guys. And I got a hard cutoff. I got to get to writing today. It's newsletter day, so. Okay. Myself. Normies aren't willing to pay 50 to 100 bucks to transact in the bull. Yeah, no, you're right. Dude, not even just them. Degens aren't really. Unless you almost have guaranteed wins. Most people definitely aren't. You're right. Let's see. If Sony makes all their Play Store items NFTs, yes, sir. I agree. I hope they do it. I think they will. Again, they've got patents for NFTs. It's a good thought, Cosmos. Cosmos saying a blockchain that will create mass adoption can happen by merging to a social media rather than any other service or utility. You know, so I agree. To me, the product I was talking about, Polymarket merged with Pump Fun, merged with Fantasy Top, put those together right on a social media platform. Have that baked directly into X and boom. That's it. That's mass adoption, man, instantly. Instantly. Right? Fold in Solana's blinks. You know what I mean? Like combine everything we're doing here in one place and do it on a social media platform. Cosmos, you're right. Put them all together, put them on a social media platform, and boom, you've got mass adoption like instantly. Dude, I wonder if Yuka ever had the option to hire Luca. Imagine Luca with the war chest Yuga has. Man. Oh, what's up, Jared? Good to see you, man. You know what? Yeah, I think you're right. If we don't hit that this cycle, next cycle, if we even have cycles anymore, it's with a new asset class, which is what we got here. With a new asset class, the kind of growth is not going to be in cycles. There's going to be specific events that happen that force people here to the blockchain, right? So cycles, I mean, they'll happen between those kind of growth events, but yeah, I mean, we could have a bull run that comes to an end and then kick back up 6 months later. That can happen in this space. Again, like the gold rush. That still will happen again here. What we saw in 21-22 is going to happen again. And I still think if Donald Trump wins, I think that's exactly what happens here. I mean, and not because I think that's going to win over so many normies, although it will. I think it's that it funnels builders here to the States. Picture these builders that are overseas right now, right? In the UAE and Abu Dhabi and wherever. Building these crypto applications and platforms. If we become very pro-crypto here, very friendly to builders here, why wouldn't some of them, maybe a lot of them, come rushing here to the States if we give them a better opportunity here? Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? And that drives adoption. That really drives things. So, yeah, the growth here could be outstanding. Yeah, X would make stuff wild. All right, man, I'm not going to get to do this justice, but let's do it. Let's do it quick. All right, Pond0x getting deeper into their check-in process. My stuff made it through finally. So I received my test transaction. I'm all set up at this point, waiting for that to be completed so mining can start. Still trying to understand what mining is going to involve, but it is allocating, I'm pretty sure, some of your CPU to what? This is the part I do not know. I don't know what it's going towards. What I do know right now is it sounds like there's ways to get multipliers on whatever these rewards are going to be through a cool little like conceptual art what is it? Collection? I don't know if that's the right word here for it. But let me pull up Jimmy Edgar for you, who I think is pretty fucking cool. I'll drop a link for you guys. Read up on Pool Void. TLDR, guys, you heard when we chatted with Paulie. What did he say NFTs are? Well, he called them a scam. So there's that. And he said they're like a receipt. He said NFTs are just a receipt. It's not art. Your NFT is not art. And he's totally right. Right? NFTs can be, in theory, NFTs can be anything. You just got a receipt. Well, this project called Pool Void from Jimmy Edgar, I think, leans into that idea. It's a lot of minting art collections and then taking those artworks and essentially burning them. You buy it, you send it right back to this Pool Void, the end. There's a statement being made every time you do that. You've got the record still. Even if you're not holding the NFT, the transaction even in your wallet is a record there. But it is an exercise in understanding digital ownership. And that's a lot to do with Pool Void. Now, with that said, let me pull this up. I think it's Zora. I think these are on Zora. Yeah. So with that said, Jimmy, Paulie, they're buddies. There's a lot going on here with Jimmy's artwork. Buying it, voiding them, and it seems like that's given multipliers with rewards. I'm doing this stuff, by the way, guys. I am. I'm interested in it. I want to mine. I want to feel what's going on over there. I followed it long enough and been on the sideline, so I definitely want in. So I minted, which was it? There was a piece called, there it is, White Rabbit. We minted this one. It might not even be for sale now. I'm not sure. No, it is still. Minted that. You basically sell it and burn it. And you get back a receipt. Now, I think you can burn these too. But when you burn these things, wow, this guy's fucking hardcore, whoever this is. As you do this and you mint new receipts after you burn each one, this is not free, by the way. You're spending to do each of these steps. But your receipt starts reflecting how much you've burned, you've voided, and these numbers do change. And then all of a sudden, points. All of a sudden, points. What does that mean? Assuming it's rewards, assuming it's tied to Pond0x, assuming it's tied to your badges over there, which again, I think that's rewards on your mining. Let's see, I think I have a few badges. And I already had these, by the way, too. I don't know where they came from. Yeah, 3 badges. I think maybe I get more from doing some of that activity. Guys, it's interesting stuff. I like performance art. I like conceptual stuff. I love that stuff. So, cheap enough. By the way, it's not super, super cheap, but cheap enough. A lot of these were free, too. They were giving out white rabbits just to get people started. But cheap enough that I'm playing here for a bit to feel it out. Again, if you're into that stuff, kind of heady, very degen, very counterculture, right word for this? I don't know. If you're in something that's not your traditional NFT crypto stuff, definitely not the mainstream stuff, very anti that, this might be up your alley, guys. So I'll drop some links here. Pool Void, just even Pool Void alone, worth reading. In fact, awful lot, you might find this stuff interesting. Again, I like it. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea. It happens to be mine. Take a strong cup of that. I like it. So this stuff, we'll get more into this over the days, weeks. Initially I wasn't sure if I should not cover it. I don't care. I'm not covering stuff because, there's a certain audience out there that doesn't like it. Because Paulie, again, I get it, but I like it. I'm going to cover it. I think it's important stuff. I think it's one of the biggest things happening on the blockchain, so I'm going to cover it. In the same way I cover Miladies. In fact, that's maybe a good point. The people who call Paulie scammer and who don't want to see any of this shit, probably own Milady's and are cool with Milady's doing their thing, right? So we're going to talk about it. Anyway, good timing here. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit. So I think that's it. That's the show, guys. Appreciate you hanging out. Like always. Man, I like consumer crypto. I'm in. I'm all in. I'm all in on Luca. I'm a believer in Abstract Chain. I think he's going to win. I really, really do. We'll keep updated on this. I think announcements are coming here, guys, especially over the next couple of weeks. So keep our eyes there. Keep our eyes on the Poly ecosystem. Hang on, let me get to Cosmos' comment here. Do you see a progressive adoption like it's been so far, or a big catalyst event? I think the catalyst. To some degree, it's both, but also this is why I wish we had good, accurate numbers as far as how many people are in, right? Like, if we had KYC that was forced, we'd probably know. It's impossible to know. I don't know if we're slowly growing, although I'll tell you, at the beginning of the year, we definitely were. I definitely know new people were coming in the space. But we've got no way to measure it, so because we don't, I'm just assuming it's going to be these big events that just people rush in. I think that's how it goes. We'll see. No, not buying a Pudgy awful. I could not afford a Pudgy Penguin. Although they're not crazy. I mean, they're expensive. What are they, like $25,000? If I sold all my Bitcoin assets, maybe I could get a Pudgy. I love them, but I love my ordinals. So anyway, guys, hope your day's fantastic. 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Going to be live here over on SlamX with Joe, with Henry, titled The Afternoon Show. Should be a blast. Looking forward to chatting with those guys about NFTs being back. So it'll be fun. Anyway, guys, enjoy your day. We'll see you later. Peace.